Hey guys, what's up? My name is Steve Space, and welcome to, I guess you could say, another episode of Off the Tee. But I want to talk about my new graphics card because I'm pretty sure you guys want to hear about it. So basically, I got a new graphics card recently, and it is the GTX 670 Wind Force Edition. I think it comes overclocked, so that's pretty cool. And overall, I think this graphics card is doing wonders for me compared to my old GTX 460. It doesn't seem like it gets more frames when I'm recording, but it keeps the frames constant. So when I'm recording with my new GTX 670, I get a constant 65 to 78, almost 80 sometimes, and it doesn't drop at all. It just stays between that range. With my old GTX 460, it would range around 70 to almost 100 FPS sometimes, but when I was recording, it would just randomly drop, and that was extremely annoying to me. I'd rather have a more constant FPS than a dropping high FPS, if that makes sense. So overall, I think the GTX 670 is doing good. So far, I've only had one crash, which was kind of scary, but I think it recovered. I just downgraded it to the actual regular drivers instead of the beta drivers, and so far it's been working fine. So you can expect more 1080p, like true 1080p gameplay from me now, since I can't do that. If you guys notice, I actually bumped it down to 720, but for some reason my render settings keeps on rendering it in 1080p. I don't know, I just keep on forgetting to change it. But anyhow, that's pretty much the gist of what my 670 is doing for me. It's doing well, it's making me awesome and happy, so you can expect more gameplays and you won't have me complaining about my graphics card, hopefully, within the future episodes of, all my series. But anyhow, I also wanted to, kind of squeeze this in too, because I want to answer you guys I want to answer some of your guys' questions. So this is going to be a off the tee, and basically this is where you, the viewers, ask me any questions on, Battlefield, or, off the topic of Battlefield, whether that's a different game or I guess a personal question. So let's just get started with all the questions. The first question comes from NeoFear's Beast, and he asks, "Hey T-Space, question, how did you get into gaming, and what was your first game?" Now, I got into gaming quite a while back. I was pretty young when I got into gaming, but my very first two games, because I can't remember which one I had first, but my very first two games were Star Fox 64 and Super Smash Bros. 64, and those games, they were the bomb at the time. I loved those games to death. I would invite my friends over, we'd have a 4-player split screen, and it was the best day ever. Those games made it so that I would want to play games more. It's just they were cool, and they were so fun. They had so much replay value, and it just kept you immersed in those games. And then after that, I kind of progressed on the gaming tree. And to tell you the truth, I think my very first FPS that I truly remember having a great time in was a FPS called Battlefront. And for those of you who don't know what Battlefront is, it is a Star Wars game, and it's kind of like Battlefield. So think of Star Wars and Battlefield together. It was really, really sick. And I played this on a PlayStation. You could play it online, but then again, I didn't have an Ethernet cable long enough to hook my PlayStation to my router, so I didn't play it online. But anyhow, even if you didn't play online, you could play with bots, and the bots were so fun to play against, because I think the cap for that was around 24 players or something like that, or a little more. So it would be 12 on 12 or maybe 16 on 16, and it was just all-out warfare. You would be capping points, you'd be capturing flags. It was so much fun. I had so much fun with that game. And in Battlefield, or not Battlefield 2, sorry, in Battlefront 2, you were given the option to play as special characters from the Star Wars scene, Jedis and bounty hunters and Princess Leia. I don't know why you play Princess Leia. I don't know. I didn't like it that much. But anyhow, that's pretty much what I got into, and then I progressed on to more free-to-play games for FPS shooters, and then I found my way into the Battlefield scene, and well, here I am now. Now the next question is from Goron, or Goro, sorry, not Goron, the Goro, the dog, and he says, "Hi, I'm loving your videos. I think you're one of the best quick aiming skills." Oh, wow, I read that wrong. I'm so sorry. "I think you have one of the best quick aiming skills that I've ever seen in YouTube Battlefield 3 videos." I'm like, well, thank you. Thank you very much. And his question goes, or actually he has a bunch of questions, wow. "I'd like to know your DPI on your mouse and your mouse sensitivity in BF3. Do you have raw mouse off or on? And also, what is your average FPS in the game?" So those are a lot of questions, and I'm just try to get through them as fast as I can. Well, I don't know. I want to go into detail. So basically, to start off, I have a Logitech G500 gaming mouse, and I have that set at 900 DPI. The reason why I have it set at 900 DPI is because I feel that if it has a lower sensitivity, I have more control over the mouse. But keep in mind that this is my personal setting, so you might have it a little higher, and don't let that discourage you. Don't just say, oh well, T-Space said if you have a lower FPS if you have a lower DPI, then you'll play better. That's not always the case, because a lot of people think that, you know, oh, that's a little too slow, I can't react fast enough, so therefore I need to bump it up a little bit. Now also with my low DPI on my mouse, I also have low DPI in the game, or low mouse sensitivity. So since I don't want to give you like an ambiguous like answer, like, oh, it's like 10/8 of, or no, not 10/8, it's like 1/20th of the bar that's filled up. I don't want to give you that, because you're gonna be like, well, I gotta eyeball it now. So I'm gonna give you the exact number, and I'm gonna put the exact number in the description below. So if you do want to try out my settings, then go ahead, by all means, try it out. But basically, in game, my mouse sensitivity is 0.091628. And for my vehicle sensitivity, it's 0.348837. So I'll put those numbers in the description below if you do want to try them out. But as you can see, they're pretty low. They're pretty low in game. So moving on to the next question is, do you have raw mouse on or off? I have it on, because having raw mouse on pretty much gives you full control over your mouse. Having it off, pretty much, it seems like it guesses for you. The game guesses like where you want to end, where you want to stop, and that's not what you want. You want to have full control over your mouse, and therefore I put raw mouse on. And last question from Goro is, what is your average FPS in the game? Before, with my GTX670, I had an average of about, like I said, 60 to 80 when I was recording, and when I was not recording, I had about around 100 or so. Or a little bit less than 100 sometimes. Like if it was on Karkin, I would get maybe like 70 or 80. But now with my new GTX670, I average about 60 to 80, like I said before, with recording. But without recording, I get around 100-ish. But I capped it off at 120 because, I don't know, I didn't think I needed more than 120 frames. And since my, you know, like I think I said this before, but my FPS, or my monitor is a 60 hertz monitor, so I don't really need any more than 60 frames per second. So that's pretty much what my average FPS is in the game. Now, the last question that I have is from Zink Hoffman. Sounds like I should say that in a German accent, but I can't do that. So Zink Hoffman, 101, and he says, do you think Armor Kill will be slow and boring on consoles? It'll probably be completely different from the PC version. Well, that is correct. It'll probably be very different from the PC version, because since consoles, I think, only have a cap of like 24 players, they're gonna have to cut down the size of the maps like dramatically. Since Battlefield 3 Armor Kill DLC is gonna have the biggest map introduced to Battlefield history, I don't really know how that's going to work on consoles. I really do hope it works for the best for you guys, because, you know, I want everyone to have a good time playing Battlefield 3, whether they're playing on consoles or on a PC. And, you know, playing on consoles, having, you know, low player count is kind of sad. It kind of sucks. I mean, I can only imagine how sucky and how boring it can be when you're playing on a Caspian border, or Operation Firestorm, or any of the other big maps like Karkin and stuff like that. It just doesn't seem fun to me. It just seems like you're missing out on like 2/3 of the entire game, because that's how much they cut it down. Well, that's what it seems like it. So I really do think it probably will be slow, but you never know. They could cut it down to the point where it's immersing enough for you guys to keep you guys, you know, playing this game again and again and again. But then again, you can't really keep your hopes up too much. I do hope for the best. I mean, I hope you guys do have fun when you are playing it on consoles, for those of you who are. And therefore, you know, everyone is having fun with the game, because I mean, I don't know, it's not fun just to complain and, you know, bitch about, oh wow, this is so stupid, this I don't want to play this anymore. So I don't know, that's just my partake on that. So hopefully it works out. But that's pretty much the last question that I have. So if you do want to be featured for the next episode of Off the Tee, go ahead and leave a comment down below, or not, sorry, leave me a private message titled Off the Tee, and then send me your questions there. So like always, leave a comment down below and tell me what you thought. Give me a like or dislike so I know for sure. If you like what you saw, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And once again, my name is T-Space, and I will catch you guys later.